Good morning, everybody. Me and all my red self. How's everybody doing? Did everybody have a good night last night? Did you sleep well? Did you have a good day yesterday? Today is Wednesday, and it is the 4th of October. So far, so good for me for the week. Um, it has been very busy. I spent all day yesterday in meetings and in trainings and in conversations. And man, it has been awesome. Awesome to be in the trenches. I'm so excited because I'm learning so much just in these last couple days. I've been a part of conversations where I'm actually hearing the verbal breakdown of final decisions, and that is helping me quite a bit because it is allowing me to understand the thought process behind, where this project is, how this project has come together and things like that. And that makes a huge difference. It is enabling me to contribute, and that's what I've been wanting for a really long time. So we're finally here, and the project actually launches next week, Tuesday. Yeah. And it's huge. When I tell you it's huge, it's huge. It impacts the entire hospital system that I work for, and it's huge. And I feel these last couple days has really made a difference in feeling like part of the team. So I'm so grateful. That's all I've ever really wanted. It's just to feel like a valued part of the team. I don't just want to be a worker bee. I've always wanted to be somebody that's in the trenches, and pretty much every job that I've ever had, I've been a very, very intricate part of the teams that I've been on. I don't necessarily have to say anything, but to feel that my work is, a major contribution is very gratifying. And I don't know if other people, have the same mindset. I use that word, quite a bit. But I don't know if, other people feel the same way. But for me, that is when you talk about the essence of success, that's success to me. When you feel like your work, when you feel like your contribution is actually not just valued, but it makes a difference in what's happening. To me, that's success, because you not only are there and listening and things like that, but because of the fact that you're there and you hear what's going on and you see what's going on, you're able to contribute. So that's kind of like, to me, well, it's not kind of like, it is a relationship. It's just another type of relationship, and it's very symbolic of how you're able to move through, maybe not symbolic, but it's similar, very similar to your marriage, to the relationship that you have with your children. It is a relationship, which means that it has to be defined, it has to be nurtured, it has to be maintained. You have to work it, you have to work it, you have to work at it. And I have to say that my relationship, this relationship, has been kind of stagnant. It's been it definitely has not been unfulfilling, but it's been just kind of meh. And so now things are getting better. We're finding interest in each other. We're finding value in each other. And right now we're in the nurturing stage. It's, we're nurturing each other. So, this has been awesome. This has been so good for me. So anyway, I don't want to ramble on about that, but I just wanted to give that life update. So I hate talking to y'all in the dark, but it's morning. It's not even 7 o'clock. So it's sometimes, the funny thing is, this is the most alert that I ever am. Generally, when I get up in the morning, I don't do all this talking. I didn't start talking like this until I started filming, and I don't know why that is. And I think maybe because I feel that, the conversation has to have, I can't just be talking, for the sake of talking. And that's the kind of person that I am in the morning. Usually by 10 o'clock, I'm good. But for the most part, like from the time I get up until, around 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm pretty quiet because I'm waking up. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm trying to process, what all I have to do for the day. Kind of getting things together in my mind as far as like, my to-do list and looking at my meetings and, that sort of thing. And I don't have a whole lot of anything to say. But the funny thing is, I get in this car. Since I started vlogging on the way to work, I get in this car and, the camera comes on, and I don't know. It's not that I'm not tired, because I'm still very, very tired. I am not awake. I'm just kind of going through the motions or whatever, but talking to you all has made a difference in how I process my thoughts in the morning, because by the time I get to work, I've had, this conversation with myself, obviously, because there's nobody else here. And I'm able to kind of think through some of the things that normally doesn't happen, for another few hours. So that's one way that I'm grateful for having my channel, because come on, because you're not going to let me over with your rude self. And then you slow down. People drive so bad. Just discourteous. So I want to ask y'all something, because I notice, like, when I'm driving and it's dark like this, there are these cars that have these really weird lights, and I can't remember what my husband told me they're called, but they are so bright and they hurt my head, they hurt my eyes. And I've asked him, why aren't those lights outlawed? Because if you're driving, if your vehicle, especially if your vehicle is larger than someone, if it's larger than the one that you're driving in front of, that you are behind, and your lights are flashing or shining in that person's mirror and things like that, it's blinding. So my thing is, whose decision was it to make it okay to put these lights in these cars? Because every time somebody with those lights, now if you just have regular lights, whatever the standard is, and you're driving behind me, I don't have an issue. Unless you got your high beams on, which is just stupid. But if you have those lights on your vehicle and you're driving behind me, sometimes it doesn't matter if you're driving in a truck or SUV or whatever. If you have those lights, when I tell you instantly, I can tell the difference. And the lights, they hurt my eyes, and eventually, I start dealing with headaches and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't have time to deal with, if it feels like you're driving with your high beams on. And that is so uncomfortable, and to me it's very dangerous, because in some cases there is blinding, and why would you want to have a driver deal with that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't understand the logic behind installing those lights in cars. And I'm thinking it's like the newer vehicles that have them. But leave me a comment below, you know, what your thought is behind those lights. If you know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what they're called. I just know that it is not a good idea to have those lights installed in cars, because while it'll help the driver see better, the other drivers around you are the ones that are impacted by the fact that the lights are so bright. And that's not good. I've had a bad experience with the person driving towards me, like if we're on a 2-lane highway, and when they are driving towards me, I have trouble seeing. So if the road curves and I'm not familiar with that road, then you're dealing with losing the ability to see where you're going. And if that road curves and you're not familiar with the road, you could potentially run off the road. That has been not. I didn't run off the road, but I was not in a good place, because I couldn't. My mind is trying to adjust for that, you know, pretty quickly, because it messed with my vision for a minute. Then with the ones behind me, having to do is I have to flip the little thingy on my rear view mirror, and then I'm having to actually lean in to where the center console is, so that I can not be blinded by my side mirror, and my rear view mirror is flipped up so the light does not shine directly in my face. And that is you know, the being blinded by that light has happened while I was driving, because it's almost like they kind of come up from nowhere, pop up behind you, and then you're squinting and you're trying to see and all that kind of stuff, because the light is so bright. So, you know, drop a comment below and let me know what you think about those lights, whether you think they're safe or whether you think they're hazardous. And if you have a vehicle with those lights, you know, let me know what you think about the fact that those lights were installed on the car that you have. If you think that, you know, it's beneficial to you as a driver, but how do you feel, or have you noticed that it's affecting the other drivers around you? You know, let me know what you think. I'm really curious, because it looks like, I don't know if these lights are standard or if it's an option and people are opting to get those lights installed. So I will be curious to know if that's like part of the standard packaging, or, you know, how does that work? But yeah, so I've pulled up here at work, and we about to get in here, because I'm not late, but I'm cutting it pretty close this morning. So I kept hitting the alarm. Oh my gosh, not wanting to get up. I've just been so tired. I think because I've been, like I said, I've been so involved in everything that's going on. I'm mentally drained when I leave work. But I'm looking forward to having a great day. A little poot. We'll finish my coffee, and we're gonna make it do what it do. So I'll see y'all after work. Peace.